All right, so it is my pleasure to introduce Sarah Bartlett. She is, well, what can we say about Sarah? She's amazing because she co-leads the London Tug, which is one of the world's best Tableau user groups. I think she runs on coffee or Coke because she is so active in the Tableau community. You can find her as a participant in Makeover Monday. You can find her on Twitter and also at Sarah Loves Data. And she's going to present to us today why you, yes, you should participate in Iron Viz. So without further ado, here's Sarah Bartlett.
Hi, so thank you for the introduction, Emily. My name's Sarah Bartlett. I work at Slalom in London, and as Emily said, you can follow me on Twitter at Sarah Loves Data. So today I'm going to talk about why you should enter Iron Viz. Now, I'm going to assume, given the people at this conference, you're quite involved in Tableau and probably know what Iron Viz is already, but in case you don't, I'm just going to give you a quick intro. So this is a picture taken from the Iron Viz final in New Orleans back in October this year. Iron Viz is a competition which is run by Tableau, which is essentially the ultimate battle of Tableau skills. 3 challengers are selected to go through feeder competitions. The winners of those feeders then have to go head-to-head on stage at Tableau conference to build a visualization in 20 minutes in front of thousands of people. So this is a picture from the final where we saw Ludovic, Corey and Timothy challenge each other to build a visualization on weather data. Now, I'm going to tell you about my Iron Viz story as well. So there's also a competition in Europe, which is purely for people that live within Europe. Now, this competition runs at the European conference, and the feeder for this started in March earlier this year. Now, I'd never entered a Iron Viz feeder before March, and this came around, and I thought it's an interesting topic. I might give it a go. And then one of my primary reasons for entering was to encourage other people to enter too, essentially, especially women. So there hasn't been a female in the Iron Viz final, in the main Iron Viz, since 2013 when Kelly Martin participated. So I really wanted to show other women that they can enter and there's a chance that they may get through to the stage. Now, part of Iron Viz means that you have to go and source your own data for the feeder competitions. So I started exploring this topic around European cities, and then I found some interesting data on a website, but there was no way I could get that data into Excel or into Tableau. So I called upon my friend Lorna Eden, who's quite active in the community as well. She's also an ambassador, and she thankfully has some awesome Alteryx skills. She was able to scrape the website for me and gave me a data set within 10 minutes. And then I visualized the data and I built this viz. Now, it was fun to build. I challenged myself to try new things, like the circular maps, for instance, the icons on the bars. It was something a little bit different. I didn't expect anything to happen with it. It was just a bit of fun. And then, as a surprise to me, I actually made it through to the final. So I ended up here on stage at the European Tableau Conference in July alongside Daniel and Klaus. Now, I didn't win the competition. Klaus took the crown, but it was an absolutely incredible experience. And I'd like to encourage other people to enter and experience it as well. So today I'm going to tell you why you should enter Iron Viz. Now, the feeders for Iron Viz won't be starting for another few months, so you have a while to think about it. But let me just explain a few of the benefits that I saw and I think you could benefit from as well. So firstly, entering Iron Viz will help you improve your skills, essentially your Tableau skills, but other skills as well. So don't be afraid if you haven't been using Tableau for very long. You may not feel that you're good enough to enter a feeder. That's simply not the case. We saw this year, so Kevin Flerledge, he'd only been using Tableau for a few months. He actually won crowd favorite in one of the Iron Viz feeders earlier this year. And Klaus, who actually won Iron Viz Europe, he'd only been using Tableau for less than a year, and he managed to make it onto the stage. Just by participating, you'll find that you master different skills. So you may be active in the community, you may do a lot of Tableau at work or outside of work. Perhaps you participate in Makeover Monday or Workout Wednesdays. But Iron Viz is slightly different. The criteria for Iron Viz asks you to meet certain criteria, which is the design, the storytelling and analysis aspects of your dashboard. So there are different things to think about. Not only that, it forces you to find your own data. They don't supply any data for Iron Viz. You have to source that yourself. So you may find that you improve your skills in that sense, or you improve your data prep skills. So maybe you start using Tableau Prep to clean that data where previously you've been given clean data sets. So either way, I would say don't let your skills or your perception of your skills hold you back from entering. Next, I think by entering, you'd actually inspire others to do the same. And you may not realize it, but just by taking part, you inspire others because they'll see you there, and there may be similarities between you, and they may put themselves in your shoes, and you may encourage them to enter. I recently attended a conference for data and women in data, and they mentioned there about how you can't be what you can't see. And so I think if we ourselves push ourselves and try and do something that other people haven't done yet, we may encourage other people to do the same. And also, you may build a dashboard that inspires somebody else to try something similar, and then encourages other people to enter. So either way, there's inspiration to be had there. Another benefit you'll see from entering is challenging yourself. So it's not easy preparing for an Iron Viz feeder, and I'm not going to pretend that it is. And it's even harder to prepare for the final. But by participating, you're challenging yourself, and you will see an improvement in your skills. And maybe you even reach a new goal. So just as part of this, you could set a new goal, perhaps to enter 2 out of 3 feeders, or to use a new chart type, or to use Tableau Prep, or just essentially to try something new. Another benefit from entering the Iron Viz feeders is you'll be able to join a conversation. So when the Iron Viz feeders are announced, there's a buzz in the community, people get excited. And then you'll see the entries come in, they're all posted to an online gallery, there'll be a lot of conversation around the topic. And it's fun to observe that from afar and not actually participate, but it's even more fun to actually engage in the conversation and be part of it, like have your visualization up there with the others, so you can actually talk to people and share your experience. It gives you a good opportunity to blog. So perhaps you've got a blog and you're struggling to think of things to write about. The perfect thing you can write about is your Iron Viz experience. Maybe you can describe how you built your viz, certain tactics you used. And again, that will inspire others to participate too. And finally, another benefit of entering is to get noticed. Just by entering, you're going to build your portfolio. You'll have some new visualizations on your Tableau public page that perhaps are a little bit different to what you usually do. You might have spent more time on them than you would have done, say, on a Make of a Monday that you prepared in an hour. And this will help showcase your skills. You'll have not only that, you'll have your feeder entry published on the Tableau public page with all the other entries. So again, you're really showcasing what you can do. Now, if you're trying to advance your career, perhaps you're looking for a new role, that's ideal. So the more examples you can provide of your work, the better. You also make yourself more known. You may be a fantastic Tableau user at work, but you might not do much stuff outside of work. This again gives you an opportunity to showcase your skills outside of the workplace to a new audience. And you can also use the Iron Viz feeder to spread a message. Perhaps you want to use the topic to shed light on a social issue or a crisis. For instance, earlier this year, Lorna Eden submitted a visualization on suicides, and that was put on social media and spread the message. And then again, with the water feeder, which is the most recent one, certain people decided to focus on the Flint water crisis, and again, educate people on certain social issues. Now, essentially, I'd like to know, what are you waiting for? What's holding you back? Perhaps you feel that you're not at the right level in terms of your skills, and that's where I'd like to help. So in January, I'll be introducing a new social project called IronQuest. So the idea of IronQuest is it will run in Q1 of next year until the official Iron Viz feeders are launched. It will mimic the Iron Viz feeders in its form. So what we'll do is we'll pick a topic, we'll have a month to complete, and you'll submit a visualization based around that topic. Now, this is designed to give people the opportunity to practice both sourcing and perhaps even cleaning their own data and building visualizations which attempt to meet the Iron Viz criteria for design, storytelling, and analysis. The topics will be chosen by the community, and I'll mention more on that later. But it's a good opportunity to get you in a good place by the time the Iron Viz feeders are announced in around March or April next year. And that's both the European and the main Iron Viz contest. You can put your skills that you've learned from participating in projects such as Makeover Monday and Workout Wednesday into practice in a slightly different way than you would just by participating in those weekly projects. The idea of this is there's no winners. It's purely just to practice before the real competition comes around. So I'd like you all to be in a better place come when those feeders are announced. And as part of this, I'll be bringing in special guests to help me feedback to people that haven't entered the feeder before, and they would like some feedback around the same criteria that the Iron Viz feeders follow. So for January, Timothy, who's reigning Iron Viz champion, has kindly offered to help me provide feedback to the first 15 people that come to us with essentially that's their first time entering a feeder. Preference will be given to them. We'll give them feedback along the lines of what they'd receive if they were entering a real feeder. And you might be wondering what the first topic is going to be. So earlier in November, I asked the community on Twitter to pick one of 4 broad topics. Now, as you can see here, the community picked crime. So I've given you a sneak preview today that the first topic will be crime. Now, you'll find that the Iron Viz feeder topics are quite broad. So essentially anything related to crime will do. This competition, this feeder contest will officially start on the 1st of January, but I've given you a sneak peek now, so maybe over Christmas you can source some data that you'd like to use. And then the first review will be at the beginning of February, and then February I'll start a new challenge. And like I said, there's no winners. It's purely just to make people more comfortable with entering an Iron Viz feeder. I'll post more details on my blog soon around how it's going to work. So just keep an eye on that, and also on Twitter. And if you want to see, there's my links to my blog and to my Twitter page as well. So thank you to everyone. I don't know if there's any questions come through. Let me just check.
Oh, so the first question in the chat window is, a common data set will be used, is that right?
No, so it'll be up to you to source your own data set. So the topic is crime. You can source any data set you want related to crime. So it could be about real crime, it could be about fictional crime, it could be anything. And I'll post some ideas. I'll also post some tutorials on how to source your own data and places you can look for data as well. It would also be great that if other people that have maybe entered Iron Viz feeders in the past could enter this, just to showcase their skills and show some examples to people that are new. You don't necessarily need to receive feedback, but it would just be nice to have more people enter, especially with the new year coming up. It might be one of your goals to do more visualizations. This is ideal.
We've got a couple of other questions. And so I think some of them have been answered in the chat, but so feedback will be limited to the first 15 people?
Yeah, because we want to provide personalized feedback. So we don't want to end up with 100 people, for instance, come at us. So we're going to limit it to the first 15 who are new to Iron Viz for now.
Yeah, and then just quickly, because we could get in a whole other conversation, and then how would you, for those people who aren't the first 15, how would you recommend them going about getting feedback?
So they could reach out to other people in the community, maybe all their friends or their colleagues. There'll be more information on this coming. I just need to write some of the blog posts and I haven't had a chance to yet, but I'll be providing a lot more information. But for the time being, we want to limit the number of people we provide feedback to so we can give high value feedback and not rush it.
Okay, we've got a bunch of questions in the Q&A. So we'll start. Chris writes, "Hi Sarah, what kind of time commitment would be needed to enter feeder competitions?"
Okay, so for the official Iron Viz feeder competitions, you get a month from when the feed is announced to when it completes. This will be the same. You also have a month. I'm just giving you a heads up in advance what the topic will be. It depends on what you really want to do in terms of time commitment. In terms of the visualization I built for my feeder, I didn't actually start building that until the final week before the deadline. But I was lucky because it was around Easter time, so we had a few public holidays. So I'd say it probably took me around maybe 2 full days, but I'd spread that over a couple of evenings.
All right. How many versions did you go through for your Iron Viz entry, and who did you get feedback from?
So I probably went through around 3 or 4 different versions. I reached out to people that I knew on Twitter, and also messaged some of my friends for feedback as well. And they all came back to me with slightly different feedback, so that kind of why I iterated so many times. But yeah, so probably around 4 different versions. And it was mainly little tweaks. It wasn't big overhauls.
Okay. Let's see. Can we promote using the hashtag in the Viz description on Tableau Public?
Yes, of course, yeah. I'd be happy for you to do that.
And then, if you can't commit to a feeder, are you still encouraged to participate? Thank you.
Yes, of course, yes. So this is the idea of this is to improve your skills and approach visualization slightly differently with those criteria in mind, so the design, storytelling and analysis. So yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I have a question. So is this going to be on like data.world, or I guess not, right? I don't know. Where is this going?
Yeah, so I'm going to encourage people to post their visualizations to data.world. I'll have a project on there. So there'll be a gallery like you have for Makeover Monday with all the submissions. And then I'll have a blog post with some more information as well. I'm just trying to figure it all out. It's not the most straightforward thing to set up in terms of what we want to achieve. Myself and Timothy are intending to do the feedback over a Zoom call, and then we'll share the recording with the 15 people.
Okay. And then I think this might be a good question for you. So we have a question. Somebody's a newbie to Tableau. And how did you get started on your journey? And do you have any tips that you'd like to share?
Yeah, sure. So I started using Tableau around 4 years ago. I went on a 2-day training course that I was sent on by work. I didn't know what Tableau was at the time, so I was totally brand new to it. After attending the training, I didn't use Tableau for around 9 months, so I wasn't quite sure what I was doing. But in an effort to improve my skills, I started participating in projects like Makeover Monday. And it was through the participation in those and attending user groups that I really improved my skills. I've been quite active in the community, and I think that's helped as well. My tips would be to participate, try and look at projects like Makeover Monday, Workout Wednesday, Sports with Sunday, Project Health Viz, and just try and participate in as many as you can and get as much exposure as you can to different data sets and different visualization types.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah. Does anybody have any last questions? Oh, also, does reverse engineering help sharpen your skills?
So I'm assuming that means reverse engineering someone else's workbook on, yeah, in public. Yeah, so absolutely, yeah. So you can learn so many cool tricks from looking at different people's workbooks and reverse engineering them. So totally, yeah, I'd encourage that.
All right. Well, Sarah, thank you so much. This is so exciting. I can't wait to see it unfold.
I hope you're going to enter, Emily.
Yes, I will.
Yes, good.
Yes. All right, Sarah, thank you so much. And now we are going to turn right on over to Eugenia Kiss. And she is going to tell us all about that tug life, reasons to attend and how to get involved in tugs. So Eugenia, we will flip it over to you.